What is going on, everybody? Non here, and this is probably going to be an unpopular video, but it looks like the crypto bros, the investor bros, the entire world has declared war on the Pokemon Company. And the reason I say that, and I'll walk through some examples here that most of you have seen bits and pieces, maybe not presented in this way, but we have the Pokemon Company who said that they're going to do everything they can to print sets going forward. Well, we're not seeing that, or we haven't seen that yet. We've seen Prismatic, but Destined Rivals almost nothing. Searching Sparks has been completely ineffective. Now it's kept the boxes from going to $400, but it's been ineffective. And now all of a sudden we're seeing all of these EX boxes. So there's a scenario where the world is either calling their bluff or just saying, hey, you guys are full of shit. You can't print anymore. You can't print 14 sets at the same time. We dare you to try. It's just not going to work. You don't have the capacity to do it. Or, quite simply, we understand that you guys don't want to do it because it is in your best interest to have hype in the products as the way we're sitting here. So, in that scenario, maybe the Pokemon companies like Philly Karen, if you guys saw the video from the lady stealing the baseball from the little kid. But everybody is buying everything, and the prices of everything are going crazy. And I think one of the things that I want you guys to understand is, the first trial that I saw was really the felt hat Pikachu. And there were a lot of these out there. There's over 75,000 graded. But a group of people just bought them and bought them and bought them to the point where they're $400 for a near mint copy that's not graded, and I don't even know what graded copies are, a couple grand, because you can control the market in a card like that because there aren't an infinite amount out there. No different than what we're seeing with Pokemon Center ETBs, which are now the collector boxes of Pokemon, because you can't print them all. You can't print everything. You can't be everything to everyone. So the Pokemon Company now has to either continue to do what they're doing, which quite honestly isn't much, outside of pushing product to Ace Hardware, Dick's Sporting Goods, Costco, and Sam's, which, by the way, you're basically preventing folks from buying the product because you're now requiring a payroll or a paywall. So, the folks that are like, well, it's accessibility at MSRP. It's really not, because you have to pay to participate, right? So it's kind of a gray area. But either way. So we have Destined Rivals that came out. And there were all these people on YouTube saying it's going to get printed into the ground and it's going to MSR penis and this and that. It's $350, $360 a box now. I've heard no rumors about any more of this coming out. I would have expected more to come out with Mega Evolutions. Mega Evolutions has not arrived at distribution, as far as I know. But we are now above the very first day of pre-release price because people want the product. And everybody's saying, you know what, I'm going to buy it because the Pokemon Company can't print enough. They cannot drive the price down. They are functionally incapable of doing it. This is in spite of moving all of the European printing to the Netherlands, expanding the print runs their print lines in the US as much as they can, and printing to the point where they're packing wrong packs and wrong booster bundles and all kinds of crazy stuff because they're running at full capacity. And it doesn't matter because the market is going to eat it up. Now, getting back to the felt hat Pikachu example, if you have 75,000 of them, right, at a bucket card, 75 grand, $10 a card, 750 grand, which is nothing. And some of you are going to say, holy shit, 750 grand is a lot. In the grand scheme of things of collective spend, it's nothing. You have to understand that some of the large distributors are getting 100 or 200,000 booster boxes. So at $100 a pop, you're talking $1 million, $10 million, I should say. So 750,000 is nothing for one card for people to corner. Even at $100 a card, at $7.5 million, the amount of money that's been made in crypto by younger people that quite honestly don't give a shit about this and they don't pay that much attention to traditional finance, it's nothing. It's literally less than nothing. So I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing this. And we've gone over a year now where Pokemon has tried to print some stuff and they've just failed time and time again to print a meaningful amount, to the point where they've stopped pushing it through distribution and they're pushing it to big box stores, and big box stores are failing as well because the stuff's getting scalped and eaten up, and it's just disappearing. Look at the Destined Rivals Pokemon Center ETB. They could drop 1 million of these on the market tomorrow and they would disappear in a heartbeat. $374. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Based on where it was at. And this all happened recently in the last month. Basically, in the last 2 weeks, it went from $250 to $350. Mega Evolutions. They are so stretched at printing, they now have to come out with everything in waves. So for those of you who don't know, Mega Evolutions and all of the SKUs except for, I believe, the single pack check lane booster, blister, whatever you want to call it, are coming out at 60% at release and 40% thereafter. They're saying 3 weeks. It could be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. We don't know. But it gets worse. So Phantasmal Flames, or whatever it's called, which is Mega Evolutions 2, was initially scheduled for release on November 7th. It took them about 3 seconds to push the date to November 14th. And now, not just the SKUs for that set, but all the EX boxes, the Charizard XEX, whatever, Ultra Premium Collection, they're coming out in waves. Every one of those products is 50% at release and 50% a couple weeks after. So these guys are at the point where their supply chain is busting at the seams because they can't print enough, and B, they can't manage the logistics of what they're printing. So they have increased print runs, but more telling, they've increased SKUs. So I did a video a couple days ago about how many SKUs they have in Q3 and Q4 this year versus what they had last year. And it's over double the number of SKUs. And last year, they didn't release anything after Surging Sparks. That was it. Nothing in December. Everybody is home. The Pokemon Company, shuts down. You're going to have products releasing December 5th, and then 3 weeks after that. So these guys are going to be churning and burning up through Christmas. So it's not like there's no effort there, which again is why the entire world is calling bullshit on, you can't print this to oblivion. All the idiot YouTubers that think these guys can print the MSRP, well, they don't have any skin in the game. You got two shitty booster boxes, on the wall behind you. Like, guys, you don't understand what's going on. So let's go to a set that they have reprinted. They've reprinted 3 times now. Surging Sparks. $242. And look, these are all no-name sellers. These guys are either dumping because they need money, they're broke, or they found it in a vending machine somewhere. Devastation Games out of Florida. I would never shop from those guys. They are absolute and total non-trustworthy folks. They will cancel your order and relist it in a heartbeat. But I mean, there's 1,200 listed, but it's still selling 9 a day. And the thing about this market is everybody is financially healthy in this market. So there's nobody selling in desperation to make payroll or to fund working capital or to fund new products. It doesn't exist. And those who are, A, you don't hear about them, and B, everything, their product disappears. I had fully anticipated when Final Fantasy and Destined Rivals came out back to back. I had talked to all my reps and said, look, if you have any stores who can't afford product, I'm happy to help out, peel some stuff off. I didn't get a single box because there were a couple stores that paid slow, but the stuff sells. You can pre-sell it. You can do whatever you want, get creative. It's all gone. So now let's talk about the biggest pieces of garbage on the planet and continue to drive home this point. So let's go here. Mew X. This is from the 151 Ultra Premium Collection. And this is up from $6 a year ago. And this is after it had already moved to $67, $66. Let's see. Where's the near mint? I should probably just sort on it, but whatever. Either way, you are basically $70. for a near mint copy of this? Let's just do it this way. We'll kill it all the time. You're $70 for a near mint copy of this. These were sitting on shelves 2 years ago. People couldn't sell them. Pokemon Center was giving these away with the Squirtle promo. They couldn't get rid of them. They were sitting there. Now the individual promos are selling for what the fucking UPC was selling for. It's mind blowing to see what's happening. But this isn't COVID. The people out here that compare it to COVID and say it's a bubble, it's going to crash, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because with COVID, you had demand that got cut in half in a split second because the government unlocked the doors. That's not going to happen here. And people could say the economy's shitty and employment's getting weak, etc. But those aren't the folks that are buying the cards. Now, they are, but they don't move the needle. And quite honestly, I'm not sure that people are pulling back that much on vice spending, alcohol, cigarettes, and Pokemon cards, if you will. Because the numbers keep going up. Look at this. Shrouded Fable. This is the Pokemon Center ETB. This was sitting on Pokemon Center forever. Nobody wanted to touch it. $200. $200. And there's 54 left, and they're all gone. Every single Pokemon Center ETB is now a collector box. And there is no way that they can print a meaningful amount of all 13, 14 of them, 15 of them, whatever it is that they printed, because a bunch of sets have 2 different arts. It can't be done. The logistics don't work. So again, the market is saying, you know what, Pokemon, you can't do it. We're going to push the prices up, and we dare you to come at us with print runs. And quite honestly, if Pokemon said, you know what, I'm going to call your bluff and dump product on the market, everybody here would smile, because guess what's going to happen? Let's go back to this little Mew EX graph right here. It's going to go down to here, and over the next 2 years, it's going to go back up to here. So the Pokemon Company is in a no-win situation where they can't print enough. They know they can't print enough. In no scenario will they ever be able to print enough right now. So you either try to print more or you just accept it. And you keep doing what you're doing, which is pushing garbage boxes into big box stores for people to fist fight over. Marnie's Morpeko. This was from an EX battle deck. And I went to card show this weekend. I took my son there, and there were more battle decks than there were Pokemon Center ETBs. And there were like maybe 6 Pokemon Center ETBs in the entire place. It was like 100 tables. It was big. I mean, not astronomical, but big for like a little random shitty show in early fall. $40. These decks have an MSRP of $14.99. MSRP, sorry. And then let's go to the last one, the Petron. This was an absolute garbage promo that everybody hates. I bought like 200 of these at $10 because I'm like, you know what? At some point, somebody's going to buy them because it is a limited product. And yes, people can say, well, they never said they're going to reprint them. I'm telling you, they cannot reprint everything. It can't happen, and it won't happen. So that's why you have, this is like the 2-hump camel graph here, or Loch Ness Monster, whatever you want to call it. It's at $40. There's 30 on the market in near mint. This is a war against the Pokemon Company, and the Pokemon Company can't win. And it just is what it is. The market's going to continue to do what it's doing. And until these guys decide that they're going to dump booster boxes on distribution and force distribution to sell them at low price, where LGS owners push the price down by racing to zero, this is what we're going to get, guys. You got to live in the bed that you make.